The right is significantly brighter. It is like a completely different projector on the right.
Envy does tone mapping based on a frame-by-frame basis. We're not relying on metadata. We can use metadata from HDR, Dolby Vision, what have you, as a reference point, but we actually do analysis at a pixel-by-pixel basis for every frame. And we map everything using color histograms to determine where and at what values we need to compress images so that we can maximize the amount of contrast and highlights that are saved through tone mapping. So for contrast, we actually do some, and I mentioned the color histogram. The color histogram we do for every frame. We figure out using a color histogram for how bright pixels are to determine where we should apply compression, thereby maintaining and preserving a perceived notion of contrast. So we can't boost black floor, but because of how we handle contrast, we can preserve, like what happened with masking, a perceived contrast, right? So we can enhance how we as humans perceive it, thereby making the image better. What's happening in this particular case? Highlight recovery, what we talked about with splitting the image into two pieces. With highlight recovery, when we're splitting the image into high frequency and low frequency parts of the image, we're preserving that fine detail. And what can end up, typically when you have enough nits, from what I understand, that is more difficult to see. All right. If the image has, at the mastering level, it's more difficult to see.
Now that's impressive, recovering that much specular highlight and shadow detail, but this appears to be too aggressive. I think I would lower the black floor a little more, giving up some shadow detail so that the blacks could be a bit deeper.